This episode is about Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky, what fun cave tours and trails to do, and cool things outside of the park you can enjoy as well. Mammoth Cave became a U.S. national park in 1941, yet its history predates that by millions of years. It's the world's longest known cave system, formed over millions of years by the breakdown of the limestone. Native Americans explored the caves and mined them for minerals, and then European explorers found the cave in the late 1700s and were mining it for ingredients for gunpowder by the early 1800s. In 1835, the cave system was measured to be 8 miles long. By 1972, there were 144 miles of recorded passages. Fast forward in 2021, it was measured to be 420 miles total. The next longest in the world is Sistema Oxbelha near Tulum at 325 miles long. The name obviously alludes to the cave system it protects. However, Mammoth Cave National Park also includes 40 above-ground trails covering over 60 miles. This is a great park to visit in April, May, and October when highs are in the 70s and it's great weather to walk the shaded trails. Temperature inside the cave stays around 54 degrees year-round. I live in Atlanta, so Mammoth Cave National Park is only about 6 hours away. I wanted to bring my parents since they had been to very few national parks, and I was getting pretty good at adventuring. So let's bring them along for the adventure. This was last May, and we decided to go on a Thursday and a Friday to beat the summer weekend crowds. They flew into Nashville Airport from DC, where I picked them up in my RV Sheldon with my dogs, who are very excited to see Grandpa and Mimi. From there, it's only a little over 2 hours to the park, yet we had some stops first. First up was Sumner Crest Winery in Portland, Tennessee. They have some great red and white blends, as well as your sweeter muscadines and fruit wines. They do flights of 4 for $10, so I got muscadine, peach, blueberry, and strawberry. And they also have a deli with chicken salad, pimento cheese, charcuterie, and all the good wine tasting snacks. Grab some and enjoy it on their covered patio if you're headed this way. Just a little bit north is Dueling Grounds Distillery in Franklin, Kentucky. They're a craft bourbon distillery and have other beverages as well, like gin and liqueur. I'm not a bourbon girl, okay? So my flight came with some other spirits and many cocktails. They also have a pizza kitchen and other snacks. Just another 45 minutes north towards Mammoth Cave is Singing Hills RV Park on the east side of Mammoth Cave. It's in Cave City, Kentucky. This is a well-kept, quiet campground and less than $50 a night for 30 amp sites. So if you're looking to stay outside of the park, I highly suggest them. The next morning, it was less than 15 minutes from there to get to the visitor center, where of course we took our picture with the sign and then drove to the Echo Springs Trail. It's a 2.2 mile out and back trail that will take you 40 to 50 minutes. This is a relatively flat, easy trail for those wanting a more relaxing stroll. Another nice easy walk is the 1.5 mile lollipop loop named Cedar Sink Trail. We checked in at the Mammoth Cave Campground, which is one of the 3 in the park. This one is a short walk from the visitor center on the east side of the park. The Maple Springs Group Campground is a little bit more centrally located inside the park, and the Haushen Ferry Campground is on the west side. We decided to stay at the Mammoth Cave Campground so that we could plug the RV in for AC and leave the dogs inside while we walked to the visitor center for our cave tours. All cave tours in the park begin and end at the visitor center. There's over a dozen available throughout the park of varying lengths and difficulties, though they are not all available all times of year. High water levels and other factors will determine when some routes are accessible. Cave tours range in price for adults from $12 to $79, yet most are between $15 and $30 each. The first cave tour we took was the River Styx tour. It's about 2.5 miles long and takes you 2.5 hours. You start with a short walk from the visitor center to the entrance of the cave. This is rated a moderate course based on the 600 stairs it entails. This tour focuses a lot on the geology and creation of the cave, and it will take you to the underground river Styx. You'll also see the giant's coffin, bottomless pit, fat man's misery, and mammoth dome. There you'll take over 100 steps up the staircase and to the exit. Upon exiting the caves, you'll step across a decontamination mat. This is to help stop the spread of white nose syndrome, detected in bats in the cave in 2013. This is a fungal disease killing bat populations, and it's been transferred by humans unknowingly carrying the fungus out of the caves on their shoes and their gear. Your shoes are cleaned walking across the mats, and hopefully nothing is transmitted. I also walked across these mats leaving Carlsbad Caverns. The next day, the first adventure was the Dixon Cave Loop. It's only 1.6 miles, yet rated moderate due to some elevation gain at times. You'll pass a historic cave entrance, then the green bluffs, and there's part that leads off to the River Styx Spring. Then it was time for another cave tour. I chose the Domes and Dripstones tour because it went into a completely different part of the cave than we had visited the day before. Instead of a short walk to the historic entrance, we took buses to the far side of the cave system. This route is only 0.75 miles, yet it takes about 2 hours for the bus rides and the walk underground because of the 734 stairs along the way. First, you enter through an airlock and descend 280 steps right away through the sinkhole. This is definitely the one to take if you're looking to see stalactites and stalagmites. And you'll see the famous frozen Niagara. Like I said earlier, there are several other cave tours. 3 different versions of the historic tour range from 2 miles to the 4-mile Grand Historic Tour. If you can only do one cave tour or you want one that can show you a lot in one trip, I suggest the Grand Historic Tour. It should take about 4 hours and has a total of 640 stairs, which isn't too bad over that long of a period. You'll see everything on the historic and extended historic tours, as well as parts of 6 other routes. If you're looking for a short and sweet cave tour, check out Frozen Niagara. It's only 0.25 miles of walking after the bus ride, and it's just a little bit over an hour. History buffs should check out the Gothic Avenue Tour. It's 1.7 miles, 2 hours long, and it focuses on the history of the cave, especially the 1800s tourism and the artifacts left behind. Now, if you're looking for a self-guided option, the Discovery Tour is for you. Whether you want to move at a slower pace or just not be held to a strict schedule, you can walk the 3/4 mile easy path and learn from the informational signs and the park rangers. A really cool and challenging tour I would have loved to have done is the 4-mile, 4-hour Grand Avenue Tour. It takes you through slot canyons and tunnels. It's rated strenuous partly due to the over 1,500 stairs you'll climb in those 4 miles. And that's not even the toughest one. The Wild Cave Tour is the most costly at $79 per adult because it is an almost all-day adventure. It's only 500 stairs, yet it's 5 miles of climbing over and through tight spaces. They'll actually even check your shoes to make sure your boots have the proper tread before letting you go. My parents were flying out from our trip on a Saturday, so we were going to stay Friday night a little closer to the airport. On our way back out of the park, we stopped at Bluegrass Vineyard. They're known for their sweeter and fruitier wines, which are my favorite. The wines there include cotton candy, rhubarb, apple pie, and elderberry. So we all got tiny flights and snacks. That night, we stayed at the Bowling Green KOA. If you're traveling to Mammoth Cave National Park in the car or in an RV and need to stop somewhere for the night, this is one of the holiday types of KOAs. So they have a bunch of amenities, RV sites, cabins, and even covered wagons. Plus, you can catch and release in their lake. Now, the next time I go back to Mammoth Cave National Park, there are 2 other hikes I would prioritize. The first is a 4.3-mile loop that goes along the Green River Bluff, Echo River Springs, sinkhole, and heritage trails. It has scenic views and is rated moderate. The other is really more like a viewpoint since it's only a third of a mile and will take you less than 10 minutes round trip. It takes you to Sand Cave, where a cave explorer named Floyd Collins died in 1925 as he was creating a tourist experience in that part of the cave. You can learn more about Floyd Collins and cave exploration at the American Cave Museum, less than 30 minutes away from the park in Horse Cave, Kentucky. The museum is free and it features exhibits on cave geology and archaeology. It's also the site of Hidden River Cave, where you can walk the world's longest underground swinging bridge and see two subterranean rivers. Another nearby attraction to visit when you're in the area, especially if you have kiddos, is Dinosaur World in Cave City. There's interactive exhibits, dinosaur-themed playgrounds, and areas where they can dig for fossils and mine gems. Don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can follow along and dream big for your journeys on the Great Escape. See you next time, adventurers!